Vindistrict Talks, where stories never end. Join us for sneak peeks of upcoming books, free fiction across genres, and true horror stories that will keep you up at night.
The story featured in this episode begins shortly, but the strange part comes after, right here on Bizarre Thoughts with Vindistrict Talks.
I'm not saying it was Bigfoot, but I'm not saying it wasn't. This happened last summer. Me and my buddy Matthew went camping up in a national forest in northern Wisconsin. Beautiful thick pines, 100 miles of quiet. Not a gas station in sight once you're deep in. We'd done smaller trails before, but this was supposed to be our disconnect from the world, go primal for a few days trip. We parked the truck near an old ATV trail, hiked in with our gear, set up about a mile off the main path. No service, no people, just trees, stars, and enough bugs to drive a man insane. The first night? Normal. Made a fire, roasted hot dogs, swapped dumb stories from college, passed out with the kind of sleep you only get when the nearest email is a 2-hour hike away. Second night? That's when it got weird. I woke up at like 2:46 a.m. I remember the time because I checked my phone, even though I knew damn well I wasn't getting any signal. I was hot, a little sweaty, had this weird tension in my chest, like I'd been dreaming something I couldn't remember, but my body was still reacting to it. That's when I noticed it. Matthew wasn't in the tent. His sleeping bag was unzipped and empty. His boots were gone. At first I figured he went to pee. Guys do that in the woods, right? No big deal. But 10 minutes passed. Then 20, I called out for him quietly at first. Then a little louder. Nothing. I stepped out with my flashlight and scanned the tree line. That's when I felt it. Not saw it, felt it. Like something was watching me. Not just there's a squirrel in a branch watching. I mean full body freeze up, stomach drops out, primal. You are not alone watching. The woods were dead silent. And that's what really set me off. No wind. No insects. No rustling. Nothing. That's not normal. I called for Matt again louder this time. That's when I heard something behind me. Not close, not loud, but there. A branch cracking, a thud, something moving heavy. Not fast, just present. I spun around with the light, heart going crazy. Saw nothing, just trees, but the feeling didn't go away. I walked a few feet from the tent, stupid, I know, but I had to see. And I swear I saw footprints, barefoot, deep, like someone heavy had walked through. But they didn't look like Matt's. No tread, no socks. And they were spaced too far apart. Like something tall was moving slow but steady. I kept thinking, what the hell walks barefoot through a national forest at 3 a.m? I backed up to the tent, called for Matt again loud this time. And that's when I saw something. Not a person, not really a shape, just this outline. Like when something blocks part of the moonlight but doesn't reflect it. Still, watching, maybe 30 yards out, and then it moved. Not toward me, away. Slow. Like it had been standing there the whole time, just looking. I didn't chase, didn't call. I just stood there like an idiot until I finally backed into the tent, zipped it shut like that would save me from whatever the hell that was. I stayed up until sunrise. Couldn't sleep. Just sat in the tent with my little pocket knife and a flashlight with 28% battery, and then, at 6:13 a.m., Matthew unzipped the tent like nothing had happened. I freaked, asked where he went. He looked confused, and said he went to take a leak behind a tree. He tried to circle back, but couldn't find the tent. So he climbed up onto a ridge, waited for first light, retraced his steps. He swore he never heard me yelling, never saw any lights, never noticed anything weird. But here's the thing, Matt's not dumb, and he's not soft. But when I asked if he wanted to stay another night, he said no. Didn't argue, didn't explain. Just started packing. We don't talk about it now. Every time I bring it up, he changes the subject. But I think we both know. Something was out there that night, and it wasn't running, it wasn't hiding, it was watching.
Bizarre Thoughts with Vindistrict Talks. What if Bigfoot isn't hiding? What if he's watching? Really sit with it, because the stories go back centuries, Long before grainy photos and blurry trail cams, people described a tall, broad creature. Too human to be a bear, too fast to be caught. Tribes had names for it. Entire generations warned their children not to go too far into the trees. And always, the same detail, he watches. From behind trees, from across rivers, from just beyond the firelight, and you never hear about him attacking. Not really. Not in the way you'd expect from a predator. You hear about him standing still, staring, sometimes mimicking sounds, sometimes leaving behind a perfectly broken tree branch, or a footprint that leads nowhere. That's not hunting, that's curiosity. Or worse, surveillance. What if we've had it wrong this whole time? What if Bigfoot doesn't run because he's afraid, but because he doesn't need to fight? He already knows where we are, how we think, where the cameras are, what time we tend to hike, how deep into the forest we're willing to go before we turn back. What if the reason we can't catch him isn't because he's clumsy and rare, but because he's better at this than we are? And maybe that's the real fear. Not that there's something in the woods we haven't discovered, but that there's something in the woods that's already discovered us and decided we're not worth introducing itself to. Not yet. So the next time you're walking through thick forest and everything suddenly goes quiet, no birds, no wind, just a drop in the air pressure you can't quite explain, don't look for what's hiding. Look for what's already found you.
Follow Vindistrict Talks for weekly stories.